look, already looking on the board, we are going to see Ella and Ying right there to go. Now, what we're not seeing right off here for FlipSid is going to be a Jaeger, which I thought my predicament or my prediction was going to be Jaeger's is going to be one of the highest picked operators here because of Ying and those smokes and those candelas.
So many projectiles.
Yes.
So many projectiles. I do agree. I think Jaeger is actually very useful in this current meta, and I am somewhat surprised to not see him on the field here. However, I mean, if anyone's going to make it work, FlipSid's going to make it work. Like I said, they are good at doing the abnormal, or good at making the abnormal successful, to be specific. They are also, speaking of abnormal, going to be defending the ventilation room downstairs, which is just slightly different from the typical Armory defense of the top floor. They will be investing players and utility, as well as castle barricade, reinforcements, all the things going upstairs. However, the bomb sites will still be below them, and that will mean that they can linger upstairs if allowed and utilize that vertical presence to their own advantage, as it would normally be used to their disadvantage. And I like that. I like that sensibility from FlipSid. It offers something not necessarily unique, just slightly different than what we're used to seeing every single day on a map like Border.
So Canadian already started out by the Valley spawn, came in
Also
through
different.
the southwest corridor into the inspections room, the custom inspections lounge.
I think this is the right way to attack onto the ventilation room. Taking control over the supply room and then opening up this specific wall gives you a long angle into the A bomb site. And as you can see, no castle barricade. That angle is going to be prevalent. And he will likely catch somebody in the rotation. Well, if he's lucky at least. I like also what Continuum's been doing as they push their way into the main atrium, taking control over tellers. They now have full control over this floor, save for the bomb site itself. They still have to worry about above them, but they are making some quick progress here onto the bomb sites. This is significant. Still 2 minutes left, and they're right up against it.
They are basically just encapsulating on FlipSid at the moment. Again, there's only three members now on site. They've gone on down through the drop edge. You've got Pojo Man, Mint, as well as Chapstick. Hot and Cold and Adam going to be the two defenders lurking above, making sure that they can help rain some bullets down to cover a little bit.
Pressure's mounting here for FlipSid as their angles are being, well, they're being exposed to more and more. That's what I'm trying to get at there. You still have that Ash likely playing by supply room, and there it is, Young with a nice snap onto Pojo Man. Gets the first kill of the round and the map.
He's going to look on over, tosses, tries to toss a Candela, but Chapstick peeks off at the perfect time. Will pick off Young's head as he tosses it forward. That's going to even out man count. Now it's a 4-on-4. You still have Adam above, but Hot and Cold has decided to drop back onto site, try to fill the spot that Pojo was not able to hold down successfully. And Canadian is now going to be right on the other side of the west stairs. Hot and Cold was holding the tight angle into the doorway. Canadian will not spot him out. Hot and Cold just let it go. He's going to look for the shot.
Oh,
he
no.
gets him down. Wonderful peek out by Hot and Cold. He will be traded out by BC, however, inside of Inspection's office. And that's going to make it 3-on-3, 35 seconds to go.
A virtually free kill given away there to FlipSid, but at least it was reciprocated. That's the important thing for Continuum. However, as time ticks away, they really need to make this execution happen right now.
You still have Mint, who's at the top of the west stairs, looking on down, but they are going to try to push into the to the servers room, which is basically, I think, where Adams might be able to get this hold onto. Chapstick with a shotgun and a Necrox, and then a nice trade refrag by
he
BC.
didn't see NVK.
He's going to try to go in and get this plant down. NVK is going to be the last man standing, but the diffuser is successfully planted.
NVK wins these.
It's very possible. The window, however, oh, he grabbed one! But it was a wonderful timed event. Mint's going to come in at the exact same time. NVK looked away. FlipSid Tactics will take home round number 1.
An excellent attempt there. Unfortunately, it shouldn't have been even an attempt, though. The Ella did have full visual on that Thatcher, or maybe I'm mistaken, but it looked like there was a staring contest going on there. Unfortunately, the Ella just did not take the shot. That would have been over much, much quicker had she. However, a very nice first round defense there for FlipSid. I do again like the way that they mixed themselves up by going down into that ventilation room, and it certainly worked out for them. I like the way they utilized that vertical presence to the fullest and then collapsed on the Continuum attack coming from the main atrium. That quick rotation back onto the main floor as the horizontal pressure came from Continuum. to the south. Now we are going to have Continuum instead opting to go to the top floor. Much more typical. This is what we're used to seeing.
What I am liking about FlipSide's attack here that we'll likely see unfold, I'm just judging off of the operator selections, is the fact that they are not going with, okay, we have to make Ying work. Yes, Ying's a new operator.
Yes.
We know she's capable of doing some good things, but we don't have to force her into a strategy.
Nor Legion, you know? Neither of them are essential. Nor is Ella, to be frank. Ella, however, I feel like is really freaking powerful right now, and there's no reason not to bring her. However, yeah, with the Legion and the Ying, sometimes you don't need them, man. You just don't. I would argue that the use that we've been seeing from Ying earlier today, specifically from Excellence and Infamy both, was excellent. But at the same time, if you don't know her, don't force it. That's all right. I mean, Ella, again, kind of just a murder machine with 4 Gizmod mines that do a considerable amount of disruption. I still wouldn't say you could probably just bring her 9 times out of 10. But, yeah, Legion and Ying, don't force. Now, the attack is seeming to be focused primarily on the CCTV, at least to start us out here. Continuum is holding inside of it, but I think if the shock drone is capable of getting rid of that mirror window, they will Continuum will likely fall off. Ooh, that well-placed bandit charge is going to stall up the Twitch drone. I think it also gave Canadian the opportunity to shoot said Twitch drone.
Oh,
no, he
got
the
it opened.
window. That's very impressive from Hot and Cold. Well done to him. Now, I actually was talking with Pojo, and that's one of the extraordinary traits that Hot and Cold has. He is very, very good at opening up, or well, utilizing his Twitch drone to more than just being a fragger. A lot of the people who get relegated to the Twitch role end up just being fraggers. They got the F2, you know, it's one of the best guns in the game, and they're 2 armor, 2 speed. They are expected to get those kills. But Hot and Cold is extremely good, excuse me, at just using the drone to the best of his ability to actually help the attack.
I like this. FlipSide made the call, hey, we put a lot of pressure on CCTV. We're now going to rotate over to the east offices, and we're going to push into B site. You see Hot and Cold, he's already on the balcony out by the window of B. The rest of FlipSide's pushing in from the east balcony as well as the east stairwell. They've done this with 60 seconds left to go. They're all in position. Now it's just a matter of will they be able to get into the site and get that plant down. You see Mint trying to drone on out through the atrium. NVK already down in his prone position. Picks up the kill there onto Adam.
Hard to challenge NVK on those sorts of angles. It's unfortunate for Adam that he didn't manage to come out successful there. That's going to really slow down this FlipSide attack even more so.
Canadian's right there inside of the break room. He's going to see Mint but not get the shots down onto him. Nade's going to come on up through. And it looks as though Necrox is going to have to run away. ADS will stop the nade from doing its destruction. And Canadian gets the kill there on the Hot and Cold onto the balcony. No, he actually got off the balcony and tried to challenge Canadian down inside of Inspection. And tucked inside of the corner is where we are going to see Necrox. He's going to stay there for the remainder of the time. NVK picks up another kill to Chapstick.
Whoa.
Grabs Mint on down and Young to get the final kill on a Pojo, man. That is going to be Continuum, showing that they still have what it takes to call themselves competent players on Border.
I believe that was a 4K. Another thing on that note, continue to call themselves competent players on board. This is one of their best maps. This is also one of Continuum's preferred locations to play, if I recall. They've had a very good track history here. Similar, in fact, to Bank. They're just fond of the map. They have stumbled a couple times. Most notably, I believe it was against BRK. Or no, yeah, no, it was BRK or Black Dragons. But it was a long time. It was the Invitational, I believe. And they did have a little bit of a struggle against one of the Latin American teams on this map as they threw a couple curveballs at them, such as Teller's defense, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please, Teller's defense. Look at that. Isn't that something that you just don't see every day? Yes. Yes, it is.
We saw it quite a few times, though, I think at LAN.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a lot more prevalent than it used to be in times past. However, it's still an abnormality. That is definitely for certain. It's a little bit different than what we're used to seeing. FlipSide definitely pulling out all the stops. I love this from them. This is what we've seen from them so much in the past, and it's always the most wonderful things when you see something like this, specifically from this particular team, is, you know, it's just something fresh. appreciate that. Now, how will Continuum actually conduct themselves when they're attacking this? Most of the time, when you see a Teller's defense, you're going to think to yourself, all right, we're going to go for either opening up that wall right on the B bomb and just going for a quick plant, which against a team like FlipSid, it's not going to work. And then your head's going to go to, all right, well then let's take vertical control. So most of the contention is going to likely be around the offices. The other alternative is they could come from the west side of the building and try to clear out from either armory or underneath in ventilation, but there's a lot of FlipSid presence there. I feel like that would be very dangerous.
Now the push, they realize, okay, we need to get into the offices. Hot and Cold's already been spotted out there. However, Pojoman is inside a fountain. Now this is the reason you've got Bandit playing here. Oh, there's the top nade spot. No ADS going to stop it from there.
It's a very well-placed nade there from BC, and that's going to result in complete control over this office as Pojoman gets swiftly taken care of by MVK. That's pretty much control of the entire bomb site right there, ladies and gentlemen. All because of one nade and the lack of an ADS.
I think it was just perfectly timed. I mean, the EMP went out. That means there's not going to be an ADS there to stop it. You do have Canadian, though, playing the Ash, got Mint down for the count. This could be a flawless round for Continuum. All they have left to go are Chapstick and Adam.
Yeah, good execution here from Continuum. Absolutely.
Now they have total control of B site. You are going to see Canadian move in, try to get this plant down. Picks that headshot onto Adam, goes for the plant. Chapstick, last man alive. He's going to toss in the gas grenade, just give him a little breathing room here. But he's been pinned down. They know exactly where he's at. He's inside a server, and therefore this is going to go into the hands of Continuum for round number 3.
Continuum looking very strong on this execution here.
Necrox is going to go outside. Now I don't believe Necrox is expecting to be here, but Young will look on down through the drop hatch and pick him up. Unfortunately, that impact grenade hole they tried making did not allow for an easy entry into the site, and he kind of caught on that.
Yeah, I like the flair of attempting to defend a Teller's, but if you're gonna get picked apart so very easily, I think it really just came down to Continuum adapting their take of offices that they would normally use to pick apart an office side of an armory hold easily into a, well, it's the same place, they're holding the same way, so let's do it. Let's take that office and control in the same exact fashion, and then it's as simple as using the vertical control to walk into the site and plant, and that's just what they did. Good on-the-fly decision-making there from Continuum is all it comes down to. Unfortunately, FlipSid not ready to receive that nade from above. Like you said, that was a well-placed or well-timed EMP plus nade combo.
Yeah, there was a bit of an oversight, I want to say, on that, because that throwing the nade in through the top hole of that skylight of the office has been in the meta. Kind of fell out a little bit when people stopped holding that half wall because they realized, hey, we can hold all of office from CCTV. But as soon as you start trying to hold office inside of office, then that nade becomes a viable throw again.
So Canadian's playing a position inside of small office that is twofold. It can be utilized to defend the main, well, it would normally be the A bomb site wall, but since they're defending ventilation, it's not. And it can also be utilized to fall back quite easily, utilizing the drop down, which is nice. Very dynamic position. Allots him a lot of options. Now, FlipSid kind of just look like they're looking for any measure of control they can attain. MVK, ooh, this is a dangerous angle for Hot and Cold to be straying into. He will be downed. MVK may not be aware of this, although I suspect he
knows
is.
he downed him.
Yeah, which means that he actually only needs to wait patiently for one of the other attackers to, well, no. Actually, he doesn't need to wait patiently. He's going to go for the kill. Or, no.
He's going to fall off, and that is going to be another
It was Canadian.
Here.
Oh, imagine if he had ran out there. Alas, he did not. But yeah, so Continuum really just focusing on their vertical control. Same way that FlipSid did. Their ventilation hold. Very similar.
Now, just a little over half the round left to go here for FlipSid Tactics as they move in forward, but
that's scary.
There's not much room, and Mint has now been down. Hot and Cold's going to pick him up.
A lot of FlipSid members going down.
Pick him up.
That's a lot of HP lost. In fact, 100 whole HP lost for the FlipSid Tactics. with nothing gained, and then another down. Adam, that's 3 of the 5 attackers being downed in this round.
Is there a rook on attack that we don't know about?
Just a lot of SMGs, I guess. Well-placed nade from mid there. Gonna take out Necrox, and that is, I think, worth it.
Now, Canadian is still tucked around inside of the archives. With all this action that's been going on, I don't quite think they know it. However, we will have the rotation around from NVK over into CCTV. He's been undetected. However, he's now going to scoot back to the west part of Lockers and then down the west stairs and try to fall back onto site. He knows there's 45 seconds to go. They're going to give FlipSid this top floor, and that will likely be exactly what FlipSid wanted to have happen. But there's only 35 seconds to go. Let's see how this unfolds.
Smart rotation.
Hot and Cold looking to push in from the Atrium. Chapstick and Mint getting killed on the Young and BC. A 5-on-2 now. NVK is going to be inside of Inspection as Hot and Cold still trying to hold down this side flank. And Chapstick is here. Hot and Cold gets the final kill. That's going to be a flawless round after 3 downs and ups from FlipSid.
So excellent execution from Continuum, followed by excellent execution from FlipSid. Really, these are some pretty one-sided rounds. I'm not seeing a lot of slugfests here as we were seeing in the previous match. It seems to be more well-coordinated, one team, and then they switch places, and the other one's not so well-coordinated. It's honestly eerie. But now, FlipSid are going to be defending Customs, which is, Customs. It's a site that's been made more popular in recent times, specifically by the team Penta, who of course won the last 2 seasons of Pro League, in a very impressive fashion. And the way that they hold this bomb site is, you guessed it, vertically. They hold it from the CCTV room above. So in that last round, that take from FlipSid, honestly, I didn't expect it to work as well as it did. I felt like they wasted a lot of time. They just got the picks they needed. I feel like Continuum squirmed a little bit too much when they were just holding in the bomb site. Their anchorage was not what we were, or not up to snuff, I suppose. Now, how do you hold this bomb site? You, again, hold it from above. You also open up plenty of holes in the A bomb site wall. And there are some specific holes that you need to open up in CCTV that you see being opened up just this second. One's behind desks, the drop downs, and then that specific one that Chap just opened up from below above the A-bomb itself. That hole that Adam is standing on top of right now sees the window of the A-bomb site, which is essential because that is typically where an enemy would try to plant. Oh, and then this covers the west side balcony. Then you also have players playing inside of Armory to prevent that mirror window from being flanked. You see how it is. It's a nice roundabout system that prevents any sort of direct assault onto the bomb site by focusing the attacker's attention upstairs. And as you can see, it is captivating Continuum.
Got a nice glass play being chosen by Necrox over here. However, with this crossfire they've got going on, it's going to make it very difficult for Glass to be getting the ground coverage that he needs. You have Necrox, who has spotted out 2 players inside of CCTV. Mint, however, playing the pulse tucked away in the corner, is just easily able to say, okay, yes, we've got 1 on the corner of Southwest. We have 2 on South Lobby. He's here, South Balcony. He's easily able to get all of that information without being too exposed.
Yeah. The round is stalling out quite a bit here for Continuum. So the reason they put that glass... Oh, this run-in from Canadian's going to get a frag onto Mint. That's a good start. And then he's going to get a follow-up onto Adam. Go Canadian. Well played. Reading into those defenders upstairs. And now that vertical control has swiftly turned from defender-favored to attacker-favored. And it's going to be a very easy attack from here on out. All they need to do is maintain this control of CCTV and go down and plant.
Now, they do still have to worry about Hot and Cold up here inside of the lockers and archives. Again, he's going to continue to put pressure, make sure that he doesn't go unnoticed. Trying to land a couple shots as NVK is also counter-firing. But Hot and Cold will give it up, going to move back over into the servers. And it looks as though BC is going to hop into the B or to the A site. And right now, this is looking like it's going to be a Continuum round, just for the simple fact that bomb site seems to be in control of Continuum. And look at the expectation. He grabs 1. Can he grab another?
What a read from BC, I have to say. The game sense.
There it is. Pojo, man, he did pick off 1 kill onto Young. That was the diffuser planter. But unfortunately, he's got 4 more to kill.
It's unlikely, but I've seen Pojo do it before.
Oh, and Necrox hears the footsteps above. And there's, oh, he missed the knife, but he got the hip fire shots. Looks towards it, tosses the C4, but get hit from behind. NVK will get the kill, and that's going to be CTM taking round number 5.
Well, that was a nice try from Pojo. Sick knife. Yep, we heard the noise too, Pojo. It's not just you, man. No stress. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. There's almost no, I don't think that would have influenced the round whatsoever. But it was still a nice try. Continuum walk away with a 3-2 lead now, and I say walk away. They aren't getting very far. I'm assuming FlipSide's going to be getting some more more rounds of their own. As again, while these rounds have been completely one-sided, each and every one of them, they are trading back and forth.
Now Continuum is up by 1 round after 5, so 3-2's in favor of Continuum. But FlipSide looking to get their own attack phase underway.
So what happened on that last round? Well, Canadian ran in and got 2 kills, and then the round was over. Essentially, once he had control over CCTV, there wasn't much the defenders could do to thwart that, well, get rid of that control. How are you going to stop that? They've got complete vertical control over both the bomb sites? No, forget about it. And basically, it was as simple as maintaining said control, walking outside with the diffuser, walking into the B bomb site, and planting the diffuser. And Continuum did just that. Now, Continuum will be defending the armory. They're going for a much more typical setup. We've seen FlipSide go from ventilation to tellers to customs. Neither tellers nor customs has worked for them so far. But I do like the innovation. I do like the change. Well, I say innovation, the adaptation, I suppose, the new. Ooh. NVK with a good start here on Adam. Adam hasn't been having the best maps so far. 5 rounds in, still on a donut. That is, well, it's going to be 6 rounds soon, I suppose, on a donut. And that is unfortunate. It happens, though. Maybe a little bit unlucky here. It's probably just NVK being NVK, doing NVK things. It's great to see that NVK hasn't lost his edge on Jaeger after losing the ACOG.
Yeah, no, I mean, every single Pro League player is able to adapt. That's why they're some of the best in the world, and
well, that's not entirely true. A lot of them have.
The pros aren't.
No.
The best players? Oh.
The former statement. Not every single Pro League player has been able to adapt, but most of them have. And that is true. The mirror window has been opened thanks to the excellent and vigilant shock drone usage of Hot and Cold. However, they're challenging it from a very long angle, and I don't think oh wow, MBK with an aggressive pre-fire. He's not going to hit the target he's looking for. In fact, Hot and Cold managed to make it by. He's playing inside of Sandwich. This is dangerous. Is he not expecting a nade to come for him as they so aptly used against FlipSide in previous rounds?
I'm going to go ahead and say they have got to know where the buck is if they want to feel comfortable inside of Sandwich.
Yeah, he did move out. I think the smart move from MVK. Playing inside of the hallway now. He's been putting in some good work from that odd position so far in this map. You saw him get a couple kills on the players at the top of the east stairs previously. And he's also got a lot of just openness. As soon as he stands up from his prone, he's got just options abound. Hot and Cold is aware of that angle that Canadian has been using throughout this map, all the way from CCTV, and is just waiting for the angle.
There it is. Hot and Cold moved over to Sandwich, took advantage of the angle onto NVK, knocked him on out with a good frag of 4-on-4s now with 40 seconds left to go. Gas Grenade's going to push Necrox into the position that he wanted to be in, but Canadian now will get the headshot onto Hot and Cold from Sandwich. We still have Mint outside by the window. Looks like he's going to get pushed back out by the Gas Grenade. Pojo close up on the wall. Necrox pulls out the shotgun and takes him down. It's all to Mint and Chapstick. 20 seconds to go. Chapstick's going to have to hop into the window of office. He does so. He's got to rush in here. Mint goes down. Last man is Chapstick. A 4-on-1. And there is Necrox there with the SMG-11 to slap Chapstick across the face. And that's going to be match point now here for Continuum.
I have to attribute a lot of the success of that round specifically to Necrox. Being able to maintain himself inside the B-bomb site. That tiny little sliver of cover is all he had to himself. and he made it work regardless. Well played, Necrox, well played indeed. Even though NVK, arguably I would say his most direct form of support, got killed off early. Now we're on 4-2. That is the first time I think we've had a 2-round lead in this map, possibly, and it is Continuum's favor. However, FlipSid are going on to the bomb site where they have previously been successful defending. That is the ventilation room. They've had a good luck here, and well, the way that they've been trying to hold this is strictly vertical, and it's worked out for them in the past. So who knows, maybe it'll work out for them again. What happened last time Continuum attacked onto this bomb site, and the reason I think they were unsuccessful, is they came at it completely horizontally, entering through the first floor, south side of the building, and trying to come in through the site walls themselves, getting caught up in the holes that had been opened up by the defenders before they arrived on the bomb site's shores, and picked off one by one. The question is, will they adapt and attempt to take the armory first, where you see so many of the FlipSid defenders waiting, or they simply try their south side horizontal strategy again? They could make it work. Anything is possible, as I so often say. And I think if any team's going to force out a strategy that has previously not been successful, it's a team like Continuum, who is doing so well currently. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the same strategy from Continuum. They're taking control of, well, the map calls it detention. I call it box. And then they're going to be taking control of supply room. Once they have supply room, they'll open up the long angle into A, using that ash charge on the wall. We'll see Canadian do that in just a moment. And then meanwhile, the rest of the attackers are breaching charges, even more efficient. And then meanwhile, the rest of the attackers are just going to be opening up other sides of the south wall to the bomb site. Not putting too much emphasis on that vertical control. I like that, to be honest. I feel like they're confident in their ability to ignore the roamers and come out successful, which really shouts screams their confidence.
One of the buffs that we saw recently come to Glaz is the addition of 2 extra magazines for his sniper rifle, and that allows him to get rid of these castle barricades.
Ooh, this is dangerous.
With still having a lot of ammo to still continue into fighting. Now, fortunately, Glaz, looking through this scope, will not have the coverage he needs to necessarily look through.
Oh.
And there's going to be Chapstick with a wonderful shotgun kill. A little bit too tight of an angle, and a scope that zoomed in will not lead you to a beneficial outcome.
It was a nice attempt there from Necrox, but I do believe he was the wrong operator to entry frag onto that smoke. Of course, entry frag onto a smoke is difficult, no matter who you are, excuse me.
There's
Young.
the 5.56 kill from Young onto Chapstick. C4 comes out, does a little bit of damage to Young, but not too much. And Pojoman still trying to wiggle back and forth. And it looks as though there's going to be a nade from BC to take him on out. They've now got control. They're looking like they're going to have control here of the server room. Coming over from B is going to be Mint. Now more shots are going to go his way. A 3-on-3 still. Adam is above. 40 seconds to go. Young has diffuser. Mint gets taken out as diffuser gets planted. That's Canadian picking up yet again another frag. Hot and Cold has now been spotted trying to go for a kill. There's going to be one BC with a wonderful trade. Adam gets the kill. A 1-on-2 now. Canadian and Young, last 2 alive. You have Young held up against the doorway here. That's going to be a not castle barricade, just a standard barricade. Gets shot through. Young has to skedaddle on out of there, goes for a shot, and we have Canadian swinging on outside of the hallway, looking down towards the west end. Picks up Adam, and that's going to be Continuum, taking map number 1, 5-2.
It went 5-2, but it felt so concise. I think probably, we're used to what we were experiencing on the previous matchup, but at the same time, that was a very decisive win for Continuum. Especially that last round, I wasn't expecting it to go quite as quickly as it did, or as it had, excuse me. Especially considering that FlipSid still had a lot of the vertical. They just seemed to forfeit it. It's an interesting round. I think Continuum got under FlipSid's skin a little bit there towards the end. Moving on to Bank, I believe is the second map of this best of 3. I can't imagine, well, let's take a look at some of the highlights from that previous map before we do so. I can't imagine that FlipSid's going to have a much easier go of it. That was a nice snap, by the way, by Young. I just have to say, that was
I have
very
a feeling
crisp.
that because FlipSid chose it, because they had lost to Continuum last time, they put in the effort not only to counter act what they did, what they missed last time, but they've thought of more stuff. I feel like
It's still so dangerous, though. Again, the calm and the demeanor that Continuum have on a map like Bank is going to be tough
we've
to
seen
deal
it
with.
multiple times, obvious or not. Honestly, with you've got Elevate and Continuum, Season 2, I think it was, or
Cafe.
Season 1
It's
on Cafe. We saw that. We've
Yeah.
seen it numerous times again. But basically, long story short is, yes, Continuum is well known to be good on Bank.
In my opinion, though, like, to be known good on, right? To be known skilled on in terms of strategy and team play is one thing. But having a player's preference in terms of a map, and when it's an overwhelming majority of your team's preference in terms of a map, not strategically, not for any logical reason, just because those players love to play there. That is one thing that you can't counter-strat. And you can work hard against it. There are things you can counter-strat. The strategy itself, of course. But Continuum's almost certainly, again, they talked about, before we even started this matchup, they talked about how they've reformed their entire playstyle. And going on to one of their preferred maps, I think that they're probably going to have new strategy, new ways to conduct themselves. And again, that preference, that hard preference of, this is a map I really enjoy playing, you know? Like, what's your favorite map?
Cafe.
Cafe's your favorite map. So when you go into Cafe, do you not feel this air of confidence that you have control over what the outcome of the round, no matter what, because you're so familiar with it that you know how to conduct yourself in every little micro or every little bit?
I do, but at the same time, I can also see myself getting into a predictable sense because I know my way around the map well. So that's what Continuum's gonna have to look out for, is getting into a pattern in which FlipSid might be able to pick up on.
Arguably so. We'll see what happens. Will Continuum be able to avoid said pattern, or are they going to fall into the traps of FlipSid? As, again, like you said, it's likely FlipSid has put in a lot of practice on this map and are ready to receive whatever it is Continuum has to dole out.
I mean, we know that the basement bomb site's going to be one of the preferred bomb sites. We typically see tellers and archives as a secondary bomb site. I feel like in this meta, we might be seeing more of an open area rather than the teller's archives.
I think we're probably going to see more teller's archives and open area than, like, we'll see basement probably, but I'm saying, like, teams will be more, they'll be okay with going to the more top bomb sites. They offer more flexibility, truth be told, for the defenders. Now, loading into the map, we are going to be playing on Bank, the map number 2 in this best of 3. The first map's victors were Continuum. It was pretty decisive, and it was on Border. We'll see who comes out on top here on map number 2.
Now, the last few times that we have seen North America play on Bank, they have brought Jackal to the board to help clear out those roamers and make sure that there have not been anyone that has escaped through the cracks in their attack to head back upstairs.
I would argue that Jackal is essentially essentially an essential pick on a map like Border these days, or on Bank these days. He kind of just is necessary, and that this map is, well, it's huge.
Whoa! I don't think Canadian's able to hit this Twitch drone. He's been tagged 3 times so far.
It's a lot of HP.
He cannot find it. Right now, he's going to have a little bit of wounds to go lick, but he is going to be upstairs, top floor all the way. Young's going to throw off 1 cam, go back down to server.
Well, the round has only just started, but as stated, a little bit of HP lost for Canadians, so at least there's that. FlipSid looking to, wow, well, okay, this is very aggro. Okay, Mint has a couple people droning for him, so that's completely acceptable. He's trying to get himself into the building as quickly as possible so he can utilize his Jackal ability, well, you guessed it, as quickly as possible. As soon as they can clear out the top floor, and then they can work on the middle floor, and so on. Once they've figured out that all the defenders are downstairs, except for MBK, who resides on the top of the server stairs, they will have more freedom to move. They just simply need to cut off said stairs and deny re-entry to the upper floors of the defenders.
What I like here is that we have Continuum ran all the way upstairs. Whether or not they decided to open up these drop hatches to make it look like they're going to come around, they ran upstairs. I would say for the most part, I would argue for the most part, to get their footprints upstairs, so that Jackal had to use his abilities early on.
It certainly makes Jackal think about something, if nothing else, and it is wasting a lot of time. Continuum haven't been seen yet, and they have wasted half the round essentially. FlipSid is now just getting the drop downs open, the main drop downs about the bomb site and the hallway, which will give them a lot of control. However, they don't even have control over the server. So if they were to drop through those drop downs, then they would be met by a swift and gruesome death. It's up to them to actually give themselves a plateau that is safe to land on. Oh, I was expecting more zaps to go on to Canadian. If you get him low enough, it could be really, really easy to kill him in a gunfight. He is, in fact, a 3 speed, which means he only has 1 armor.
He's got about 30 to 40 health left. He has been zapped numerous times.
He dies to one or two bullets from most of these rifles.
And there's NVK, tags 1 kill onto Adam, but Chapstick is there to get the refrag.
Good refrag there by Chapstick. A little bit too aggressive from NVK. Nice kill there by Young on 2 hot and cold. That was very essential. Notice how Young still maintains control of the server. This is very, very impressive. He is going to get taken out, but he did his duty. And there's only 35 seconds left to go for FlipSid to execute their attack onto this bomb site.
Now, 25 seconds to go. 3 on 3. We have Necrox, Canadian, and BC. They're going to be tucked inside of B, as well as the Red Hall. Now, Pojo Man has 1 Candela left. No smoke grenades. Chapstick's going to rush on in behind the bomb site. You've got Mint gets dropped on down by BC, but the plant will stick. Oh, I was about to say that, but no, the C4 from Canadian. 30 health is all he needed. Looks like Twitch just needed to get a little bit more shot, but didn't work out. There's a C4 toss. Perfect. Blow them both out of the sky. And Continuum wins round number 1 with a bang.
Good job there to Continuum, playing that nice and passively in the basement. That's the way that you typically want to see a bank first round defense go. Similar to Clubhouse, of course. Used to seeing that exact execution. Now, Executive Lounge CEO office. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. That is weird. FlipSid, you guys are weird. This is the heck normal. And
this is abnormal for everyone but FlipSid.
Exactly.
But time and time again, FlipSid has surprised us with going different bomb sites. Yeah. This is no different.
And coming back to it, I mean, they were doing the same exact thing on Border just prior. So they're weird. You guys are weird. It's awesome. Keep doing it, please. And I want to see if this will work. That's what it always comes back to, though, right? Will it work? Is the question. Because while it's great and all, it really isn't if it doesn't work. That's all that matters in the end. And of course, a lot of the experiments they conducted on Border, well, they didn't work. So they've got a lot to live up to on the CEO defense, as Continuum start to move their way in from the various different spawns. Interesting Miras being set up here from Pojo Man. That Mira that he's sitting on right now, well, of course, Chapstick's Mira is going to allow them to stop the windows, but the ones he's sitting on right now will allow him to challenge anybody rappelling on the westmost windows of the lobby, or the skylights, although that's abnormal, and anyone standing on top of the parking garage as well. I like that Mira window.
So now it looks as though we are going to have Canadian try to work his way in. He's going to get hit by that goo trap here momentarily, unless he got killed off by a possible frag grenade or EMP. No, there is no EMP. So, oh, he saw it. There it goes. And that shows you right there. That highlights how close to those goo mines you have to be in order to trigger them.
You have to actually step on them, whereas opposed to that, you've got Ella traps, or Ella mines, that you can be, well, a good distance, 4 meters away, and still trigger them somehow, inexplicably. But I suppose that's why Legion has 7 and Ella has 4.
Now we are going to see Adam still stay inside of this hall. His red dot will give away his position if he keeps it on the wall, and the attacker's going to look that way. However, they're still wasting time. There's barbed wire in the way, so it won't be an easy push just yet. Canadian's going to spot him on out. Looks as though Canadian might try to jump into the loan office top floor, the stock office. He has done that. Adam goes for the shots, gets him down. Wonderful kill. He has taken massive damage in return, though. Necrox able to pick it back up with Hot and Cold as well. Taking out Young for a refrag. A 3-on-4 now. 60 seconds to go. We've got Pojo Man still tucked inside of his corner here, inside of the meeting hall. And it looks as though NVK might be drone. He is going to drone out a little bit more of this corridor. Looks down the stairs, BC as well. Necrox, however, is going to be the top of Skylight Stairwell. This wall has been opened up just a little bit, enough to see through all the way with some drone, or with some feet hole. Chapstick, however, gets that SMG-11 kill into NVK, a 2-on-4 now. You see Hot and Cold now inside of that Skylight Stairwell, able to get the shots down. Ghoul Mine, though, will force Necrox to take a massive damage. He's now going to step on out, get the needle out of his foot, and then proceed forward, only to be headshot by Hot and Cold for the round-winning kill here. FlipSid Tactics takes round number 3.
Of all the bomb sites to defend that, I did not expect CEO to be the one where FlipSid would have success, as opposed to Customs on Border, for example. That is astounding. Well done, FlipSid, and I love the way you set yourselves up there, by the way. The murder holes were exquisite. And unfortunately, well...
It's 1-1, sorry guys. I had said 2-1 earlier. It's 1-1.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Continuum, fortunately for you, they were unprepared to receive such an open CEO hole. I really like the, again, like the way they set themselves up there. The one thing that people forget often about Siege is that no matter what, opening up angles doesn't inherently give an advantage to one side or another. It's a two-way street. You can always shoot the other guy. If the attackers are above you and they're shooting down on you, you could shoot back up. If you open, as a defender, plenty of angles onto the ways the attackers are challenging you, they can just as easily kill you through said angles as you can kill them. A murder hole is effectively a two-way gap that could be used by anyone competent enough. And I like the way that FlipSid intentionally opened up that bomb site upstairs in an attempt to seemingly disorient and confuse Continuum, because, well, it was successful, and that's nice. I like when that happens. Now, FlipSid, they are attacking onto a Teller's defense, which is much more common for a secondary bomb site, given that Continuum was successful in defending their first, which was, of course, the basement. Continuum sticking to the normal strategy here on Bank. That is
the normal of the bomb site, but however, this setup is not necessarily the most normal setup we've seen when we're talking about archives and tellers.
Slightly different, I suppose. I like the way they're doing it, though. I mean, if you think about it, there's not a lot of vertical presence you can really exert onto the actual kitchen. The main kitchen wall towards square stairs is, you know, it's an interesting thing. I'm not sure. I mean, you can see the long angle they're trying to use. Right? If they maintain control over cafeteria, they can see through both B and A, and that's the strat. But then you're putting a lot of pressure on that castle barricade on the south teller door. You can see it, like you see it over there. I mean, that means they also don't have anyone playing close to it. It's just very dangerous, but I could see it working. I really do like this setup from Continuum, I have to be honest.
Yeah, we do see all of FlipSid, though. All of FlipSid coming in from the loan office here.
So the Echo drone will be utilized for a number of different things, but if it be that the barricade, the castle barricade and tellers gets opened, then they'll just move the Echo over there to deny the close corner plan.
They are trying to push in forward. Necrox, though, gets a double kill on a Pojo and Adam. He moved into position, perfect timing.
Well done to Necrox there, reading the attack from FlipSid. I really like this setup from Continuum. This is nifty.
Now Hot and Cold is going to try to prone his way into sight. He knows that there's lines of sights right to where he's at, but he's figuring, okay, it's going to be nice and clear. Necrox will get taken out by Hot and Cold. Now the peek comes on upstairs. Mint gets the cover. And Chapstick with a kill of his own. A nice frag down. There's only 2 members left. It's going to be Young on Echo and BC with Mira. Now the plant will not go down just yet. Mint gets injured here by Young, pulling out the bearing 9 in the hallway. Chapstick comes swinging around, gets the refrag, a 1-on-3 now. as BC's going to be stationary inside of the archives. Hot and Cold just trying to hold him on down while Chapstick gets, or Mint gets picked back up by Chapstick. And now with 15 seconds to go, Mint will get the plant down. Hot and Cold still knows exactly where he's at, but he's playing a little bit softer, a little bit more cautiously, which is how he should be in such an outnumbered arena right now. With Diffuser planted, you've got BC still trying to struggle to get out of the archives alive. Lots of different angles being held on to him at the moment. BC, unfortunately, will not likely come out of this alive or the victor. You've got Mint, who's just waiting for the perfect time, waiting to hit this at the moment. He's going to have to hop on out, wait for the shots. Chapstick is here. And there it is, Claymore to finish off the round. FlipSid Tactics takes round number 3, 2-1 in favor of FlipSid.
Huh. So, remember that discussion I was having about how angles are two-way streets and anyone can challenge onto them and be successful? Well, you saw the opposite of, well, the intended use of that phrase. I mean, it is. There's two-way streets. FlipSid opened up plenty of angles when they defended CEO. They were successful. Continuum opened, well, I would argue, more angles when they're defending onto that tellers, and they were unsuccessful because, well, quite simply, FlipSid challenged into those angles. Despite that early double kill from Necrox, that was an impressive attack from FlipSid. Well conducted.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So, FlipSid themselves now will defend the tellers in the archives, having a 2-1 lead.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
They're going to be going for a little bit more of a conservative teller archives hold, which stands to reason. Looks like they're going to be utilizing vertical presence, however, up in the CEO office as they're reinforcing the walls and opening the holes already. This will give them a lot of control to the east side, as well as technically the west. I remember seeing FlipSid hold the teller's archives upstairs very aptly, and they are going to be, yeah, this is an old strat that they did a long time ago. You can open up pretty much one hole above every single door that is accessible to the bomb site. Castle barricades are very useful as well. Put impacts and just shotgun holes over all the common bomb or diffuser plant spots, and you've got a pretty nasty setup, especially considering how successful they've been at holding down CEO in the past. I mean, that is, of course, the first defense round that they won. May as well hold CEO yet again, and why not?
So here we have it, CTM trying to work their way in from Skylight Stairwell. And Canadian already inside pretty quickly, but has much more ground to cover.
Thought that was reinforced, but it looks like it was just a half reinforcement here. And that's going to give Canadian a lot of options. He just got rid of an entire mirror window just with his ass charge.
Look at the far angle he's got. Adam
Whoa!
will actually pick off the shot. What a shot there. That's going to be the reflex site, I believe, challenging onto the ACOG of Ash.
You know who's not supposed to win that fight? Yeah, Adam. Adam's not supposed to win that fight. Nice shot, Adam.
Adam's not supposed to do a lot of things that he does.
Yep, that was insane. Well, okay, so bad start for Continuum. Good start for FlipSid.
Hey, guess what? When you open up an angle, it's a two-way angle.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise. See, that's weird. It's funny. No, because like every angle that's been opened up and utilized in this, and seemingly on this map, has been by the other guy. Ash opened that one, and he died from it. Another kill for Hot and Cold onto NBK, and it's looking good for FlipSid as Hot and gets another one.
He will, and now
Mint
is still behind the desk over BC. Will finally trim him on down. BC picking up a double frag onto Adam as well. 2 on 3 now, 60 seconds left to go. Hot and Cold still going to be on the top side. Hops into the hallway, but not detected yet by BC. He's just trying to play skitter scatter at the moment as he moves around towards the main corridor. Here we have Necrox. No,
wow,
BC gets a 3K now, taking out Hot and Cold.
So I thought the round was over and Continuum had lost, but BC is just like, nah, bruh. I got this.
He's not ready to give it up just yet. So what was a 2 on 5 will now turn into a 2 on 2. Necrox working his way down the Skylight stairwell. Chapstick saw his feet but missed his target. BC opens up the window, and that's going to force Chapstick to rush on out. Necrox goes on in. That's going to be a 1K for him so far. BC with the other 3 on board. Pojo, man, last man alive, and it looks like BC will get a 4K to finish out round number 4.
What a round for BC, bringing Continuum back to a 2-2 tie. They definitely want to lock this out in 2 maps. They don't want to get to that third. What was the third? Clubhouse?
Third was Clubhouse, yes.
Wow, we've been seeing a lot of Clubhouse make its way into this this Pro League so far in this season. I mean, the only 2 best of 3s we've had so far. You know, it died for the longest time. It is honestly weird to see it again. But hopefully for Continuum, and the opposite for FlipSid, of course, we won't be getting to Clubhouse. We'll see if they manage to lock this out. They are going to be now defending onto the basement. So what happened in that last round? Well, FlipSid, great defense of the top floor, really impeccable. They put up a heck of a fight. Really good job. And then BC got a 4K. And that was, yep, that's about it. Now, Continuum, defending the basement. They were successful here previously. Put up a lot of fight on their roam game. I'm just kidding. They didn't have any roam game whatsoever. They just held inside the servers and then got a good C4 as FlipSid attempted to push into the actual A-bomb side.
CTM has the most destruction-based operators at the moment. You've got your Smoke Shotgun SMG-11. You've got your Young Shotgun and Bearing 9. You've got your Mira secondary shotgun. Like, I think they're just trying to make it so that you can see throughout the entire basement.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because those like the elongated angles earlier in the match, I don't know, like they've been working for FlipSid. They have. They've been working for FlipSid, working against the old Continuum. I wonder if this is actually going to be to their advantage. I'm curious to see. They do have the mirror window, which of course is going to give them an some advantage, but it's still a big risk.
So Canadian, being the pulse, has been spotted out downstairs by the Echo. Sorry, no, by the Jackal. And now the buff to Jackal is an increased rate of ping and 1 additional ping, and just all around you're able to detect where he is better. You can't get fooled by your own device anymore.
Plus, to be honest, his shotgun, holy bejesus, is super useful. That shotgun basically nullifies Buck as an operator. Just saying. Why bring Buck when you can bring Jackal with his shotgun, right? And then on top of that, the C7E, pretty sure it has more DPS than the C8. And then on top of that, he's got smoke grenades. And then on top of that, he also has this extra ability to detect people.
I mean, talking about being able to open up non-reinforced drop hatches, those soft drop hatches, Glaz now can also do that same thing, where 3 shots from a Glaz sniper gets rid of soft drop hatches.
Yep.
So
now with the server wall open and the drop downs open, Continuum holds steadfast against the storm that is FlipSid's onslaught. Will they be successful? Only time will tell, and there is only 59 seconds left.
The plant is going down right now, though,
C4
by
misses.
Adam. The C4 missed its target.
Oh, no.
And the plant goes down.
Oh.
4-on-4, now 4-on-3 now with MVK getting Pojo Man. A quick refrag by Chapstick. Hot and Cold able to take down Young. Now you have Canadian and BC. Canadian's being spotted up by Hot and Cold. Another shot by him. A 2K on the round for Hot and Cold. Can he get a third one? He's trying to go for BC. BC now needs to move in to the site. He's going to look on towards the stairs. Gets shot a couple more times. Hot and Cold makes his way up. He is being twirled around, ringing around the rosy. Shots go flying around his head. Hot and Cold picks up the final shot to kill him down, though. FlipSid Tactics takes round number 5.
Caught in a bit of crossfire there. He had everyone looking at him. That was not a good situation. A little bit of a negligent pulse there. Come on, Troy. Playing inside of gold, not paying attention to the actual plant coming down, not making the calls necessary for his team, and a missed C4 as well from the Mira. I believe that was BC. Unfortunate for Continuum, and that's going to be the lead back in the favor of FlipSid, who will be also defending the basement. That was unexpected. They, you know, Continuum had the setup proper. They were ready to go. They had their C4 prepped. They were in a great position, and then just a little bit of negligence, a little bit of oversight, and FlipSid managed to get that defuse plant nice and easy. As soon as that happens, it's really difficult to retake as a defender. Near impossible. especially onto a bank server hold. Now, FlipSid seem to be investing a little bit more extensively in the top floors as opposed to Continuum. Wanted to go for a roam. Well, I mean, an entire roam. They have nobody downstairs right now. Oh, there's Chapstick. Welcome back. They have also opened up that drop down into the bomb site, which, again, a roam. We'll see how successful they are. I quite like the idea. It reminds me of defending ventilation on border and staying in armory and small office, which they did do.
What they're going to need to be careful of, though, is a push coming from archives through the soft wall into that middle office. Because as we saw, that was soft, and Pojoman, I think, was the one person who was inside there. Looks as though Adam's going to try to hold down, or at least apply some pressure on this top floor all by himself, allowing Pojoman and Mint to stay on the main floor.
There's still so many roamers from FlipSid, even in the middle floor. It's just peculiar. Normally on the basement hold you don't see this. NVK will take out one of them. That's Mint, playing inside of open area. Now NVK has control over open area, and more importantly the drop down which the defenders opened, which is the runaway hole for the roamers from FlipSid, which means every roamer that exists now is effectively cut off.
Now it looks as though Canadian's going to be the first one to work his way in through Skylight. As we said, we did have NVK inside of open area. I don't think they realize Adam is here. Maybe they do. Maybe they're just trying to push him on out, flush him out a little bit. But he now has a really good angle here. He's going to go for the shots. Oh,
Whoa!
he misses it! Canadian able to get the flick down onto Adam.
That must have been a heck of a shot from Canadian. Well done to him. He was supposed to lose that engagement.
That's the demon for you. Now a 5-on-3 here. We've got Pojoman, Hot and Cold, and Chapstick all working their way. They're all back on site except Pojoman, who's been caught off guard. He's got to go in through garage, hopefully not get caught by any of his enemies. He's back in sight. Continuum taking this opportunity to rush down into server. They're now going to get in position for this plant. There are 55 seconds left to go. Young and Skylight working his way down server stairs is going to have that diffuser in hand.
So there's only 3 FlipSid members left alive, but one of them's an Echo, the other one has C4, and the other one has smoke grenades still. There are plenty of opportunities to delay this diffuser plant. More importantly, it's a soft wall, which means it's going to need a sledge to open it up, which takes just a little bit more time. Young's going to start going for this diffuse plant, but the C4 is ready.
There it is. He's going to toss this out here in about 3 seconds.
Oh, he's
Right
going to
after
drop
the
with the C4
flashbangs
plant,
go.
or with the diffuse plant. Canadian's going to drop on this as soon as it comes. Oh, he doesn't look!
He didn't look towards the red, but it is Twitch and NVK in the process, able to get it down. Necroc's looking too high. The shots come low, and Chapstick comes out on top of that engagement, but NVK is there to clean up the mess. Continuum ties this game back up 3-3 after 6 straight rounds.
Oh boy. FlipSid still struggling, but Continuum keeping their fight strong as well. That was a little bit of a hilarious situation there where we had Canadian completely overlook the Mira. It ended up working out in the end for them anyway, but it was still kind of funny. Did give a bit of a chuckle. So, FlipSid, they lost. Okay, so long story short, defending clubhouse basement, you have too many roamers unnecessarily. They get picked off. End of story. That's basically what we just saw. It's the same thing. They're defending basement bank, and they had roamers that got cut off, and they got clipped, and it's it. It's over. Then, you know, having the man disadvantage, given that Continuum has plenty of time to push themselves on the bomb site, they don't really have to rush at all. There's no real risk to Continuum. There's no rush. There's nothing bad. There's no factors going against the attackers, and as a result, it's really easy to push your way in through server. Nonchalant. Very typical.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, so this hot and cold drone, by the way, I just want to emphasize this. That Twitch drone being where it is right now is going to be tremendous once the round actually starts, if he can get the mirror window open. Denying those mirror windows is oh so important. So great positioning there by hot and cold for his drone, if it's still alive, I believe.
It's got to be still alive. He just doesn't need to be on it just yet. Letting the defenders get comfortable. You don't want to catch him in transition. You mainly just want to make sure that they feel like it's all under secured, and then they'll get that window opened up.
Yeah, Twitch drones are invaluable in the current meta, by the way, in case you guys hadn't caught on yet. You can use them in so many various ways, the most important of which is, oh wow, NVK almost got caught off there. If he had just gone all the way upstairs, Houghton would have gotten him. But the most invaluable of which is getting rid of a mirror window. You can open up a mirror window with a Twitch drone, it has fulfilled its purpose, and it doesn't matter if it dies. If you can get a couple traps along with it, that would be even better. And that's just it. So many more traps, so many more mirror windows, so much more use for the Twitch drone. I remember when Twitch was useless as an operator. Do you remember when people only played her because of her FAMAS?
I remember even before that in beta when her 417 was gone.
Oh, God.
But no, all of the defenders have been pushed back down onto site, and that means we are going to see this unfold here in the next minute or so as Continuum is trying to get into position.
Yeah, it's been a slow round. Continuum just trying to stall out this FlipSid attack as much as possible. They're having a good show of it so far. It is, of course, going to come back to the server, though, ladies and gentlemen, as Adam attempts to, or I say attempts, begins to open up the main server wall. He will be going for that default plant on the corner of the A bomb site, and it will be down to C4, smoke grenades, Ela charges, what have you, to try and disrupt said plant. And it will all be coordinated by the pulse sensor from Canadian.
Yeah, we do have Canadian inside of gold who's able to see
there goes the mirror window
inside of the server. He's going to call out when the plant's going down. We're going to toss out that C4, smoke grenades. I believe we're going to go down to the doorway.
The Twitch got both of the mirror windows, I think. Impressive.
There, oh, it missed again. Did its damage, but not all the way, and Adam gets it planted yet again.
I must be frank. If Continuum continues to lose rounds on this basement hold because of that, it'll be very bad for their overall map.
The Canadian's going to get choked out here by his own teammate's gas grenade. He runs in forward, and it looks as though he gets that headshot onto Adam, but his team killed down by Necrox. NVK picks up one. Mint's going to be there running forward, and Pojo Man also taken out here. And we are going to have Continuum somehow managing to get this retake underway. They will secure round number 7. It's 4-3. In favor of Continuum.
Wow, an explosive collapse there from Continuum. So as opposed to the last time they allowed a diffuser plant, this time it was a 5v5. Last time it was a 3v5 to the disadvantage of Continuum. And with the full man advantage, well, not man advantage, with the man count being even, Continuum obviously felt quite a lot more confident, ready to rush into the FlipSid diffuse plant hold. I still argue, though, that they really do need to be able to deny that diffuse plant. That is the step number 1 in holding a basement. Holy hot and cold. Okay. Hot and cold and Chapstick say hi to the world. It is still match point, though. Favor of Continuum. Match point, series point, as Continuum was successful on the first map of this series. They're able to win this round, tacking onto the CEO office of FlipSid's hold. Then it will be, well, over. Continuum will move on to the winner's bracket. FlipSid to the losers.
10 seconds left.
Now we do have a Legion in play here by Hot and Cold, which hasn't always been what we've seen them in playing today.
I mean, he's, Legion's still useful.
Yep.
The great thing about Legion, I think, is that despite, unlike something like Valkyrie or Mira or Smoke even, or Echo, who are specifically useful in a meaningful way, I think Legion is just kind of blanket statement useful in that he doesn't fulfill any one particular purpose.
He's a nuisance to the attackers.
He's a nuisance, but he's just so always useful. You just kind of spam the ability, and then somebody steps on it inevitably, and it will delay their attack quite a lot. If you use them smart, if you put them in the right order or in a specific concentration, they can also be really great at denying an entire lane. But we don't see much of that when Legion pops out.
Yeah, there was one game I remember playing where I ended up getting the diffuser down in a location where no one else was there to, no other attacker was there to pick it up. The end of the round came, I had 5 or 6 Legion traps all around the diffuser.
Right.
I just ran out and he died by the goo traps trying to pick up the diffuser.
A good initial frag there from BC on a player outside stock. I believe that was through the wall. Well done to BC there. No, wait.
Yeah, that was...
Oh, it's unreinforced. Yeah, nice shot.
No, it was reinforced. It's reinforced.
No, the right one is unreinforced.
Is it?
Yep, he shot him through the wall. It was well done. Meanwhile, the rest of FlipSid also being picked apart, Chapstick being down, and Canadian with a nice shot onto Mint is going to put it now into 5 versus 3. This is 5 versus 3 match point. Continuum,
What?
he was stuck.
Canadian.
He was stuck. Yeah, BC unfortunately getting stuck in the window frame. That is really not what you want to have in a match point, series point situation. But supreme confidence from Canadian is definitely showing forth here.
60 seconds to go, a 4-on-3 now. Pojo Man's going to be tucked around inside of the conference room. Necrox has moved into the stockroom top floor as Canadian is taking advantage of the stairwell by Skylight.
You're going to likely see an attempt at a defuse plant here from Continuum, but it's very dangerous. The only place they can really safely attempt this is behind the bomb itself. If Young can make it there, he will have the grounds he needs.
Oh, Canadian aggressively pushing into the janitor's closet. Gonna go for the peek there. Necrox, though, gets Pojo Man. He's also gonna grab a kill on a Chapstick. Last frag comes out by Necrox, a 3K to end the round, end the match, and that's gonna be Continuum taking this series in a 2-0 fashion, winning bank 5-3.
Much more decisive than I was expecting it to be, but definitely a well-deserved win there for Continuum. And their roster seems a lot stronger than it has been in a while. This is, of course, again, the exact roster that, as referenced from Canadian, is what they wanted from day one. When they left my team in year 1, season 2 to make their own in year 1, season 3, this is who they wanted to have. This exact roster with BC on it. And now they've got their dream team, and it is what a wonderful debut for it.
So that is going to be Continuum, showing that